Hello, 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 Love Revolution beloveds. I love doing these interviews, and I just never know who the universe is going to connect. And we are in for an amazing treat today. This person is love personified, and everything that she does is all about love, and she just exudes it. Like you just look at her face, and it's just coming out of every pore on her beautiful face. And so, Ebby Sheila, we are delighted that you're here. Tell us a little bit about you and your business, and then we'll dig in.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Rose, and thank you for the opportunity. And hello, everybody. Yes, my business. So I've been a coach. I started off from being a wellness coach, and now I'm a self-love coach. And I use, as my methodology and strategy, I use a system called Spectrum. And the reason why I switched from self-love is because I believe self-love is all about self-worth, which
Mm,
is a bit different from self-esteem, because you could have self-esteem but not really have true self-worth. Because I believe that once you get self-love, which is the authentic self of you, because I believe there's body, mind, and spirit. And
mm,
a lot of us are
mm.
connected to the body and the mind, but we're not connected to our spirit self, which is the energy side of us that has always been and will always be. And I think that it is important to make that connection. And once you make that connection, your love just becomes expansive. So you love, like people talk about the planet and keeping the planet clean and all that. And I feel that if it's not coming from here, it's all virtue signaling. But once you learn about self worth and learn to love yourself, then that just becomes part of you. So there's respect for everything, everybody, even on things like this, because that is part of the planet. It's made from a natural resource, which is part of the planet. So you respect it. You don't just throw it on the floor, you don't just throw it away. You have respect for everything because then you conserve it and you're not buying. If you have respect for it, you use it wisely and you're not going to just go out and keep buying more because you've lost it or you've treated
Wow.
it badly so it doesn't serve its purpose. So you use it till it's completely used up and then you get another one, which is part of the preservation. So I think that once you understand what love is, which is internal, it's not external, it's not based on validation, it's something that's learned in you. So you learn about yourself, the shadow side of you, which is the negative side of you, accept it and learn to deal with it so that you're not working on emotions all the time. You find that that love gets expansive and you love everything. So when you see an ant, you walk around the ant as opposed to stepping on the ants.
Wow, wow, wow. So, Love Revolution beloveds, you can see why I was so delighted to have her here because I really didn't even yet ask the question, how does love show up in your business, personally or professionally? And she's already answered that a million times over. And so, Ebby Sheila, I have so many questions. I think where I want to start is when you're encouraging people to I think there are people that don't even know their shadow side, much less accept their shadow side. So how do you get people on that path?
Okay, like you said, people don't know. And when people don't know, they don't accept it and they just think you're a bit crazy. So it's about, first of all, learning to love you. And as you start to love you, you start to find out things that you probably don't like about yourself. Maybe you overreact to certain things or you let things trigger you. You have a belief that somebody can make you angry. Nobody can make you angry. That's your choice. If you decide to be angry, you're choosing to be angry. So that might be part of your shadow self. So what do you do? I believe that everybody is your teacher. So even the people that give you a tough time, people who resent you, they're still teaching you something. So if you have an altercation and you get triggered, that's a sign. I think that's the sign. If you're religious, you might say God or you might say the universe. That's the sign the universe is giving you that there's something within
Mm,
that you need to work on because you shouldn't be triggered. Nobody should have that power to be able to trigger you. And if you believe somebody has that power, you're giving out your you it's not empowering because you're giving out your power to somebody
that's
else.
right. That's right.
That's your power. and it's in your control. And it is difficult. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple, and it's learning. So especially if you keep getting the same challenges. So every time you go out, somebody's upsetting you. Somebody's upsetting you. That's a signal that there's something you need to work on into that. Whatever that signal is, could be unique to the individuals. It could be you need to find compassion for others.
Mm-hmm.
So love, you like in Christianity they say love thy neighbor as thyself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice as thyself, so therefore love self first.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you love self first, you're able to love others.
Mm-hmm.
And part of love is the self-care, the setting boundaries, the good sleep. So my journey started exactly like I said. I was doing. I was a wellness coach, and that's because I had health challenges.
Wow.
And so, and I discovered that a lot of my health challenges, while I was eating the wrong thing and maybe not sleeping well or not exercising, came from the fact that I didn't have self-worth.
Wow.
And as I started to learn about myself and be more authentic, you start to, because your body works for you, your brain works for you, your mind works for you. You start to get these solutions. Maybe somebody might come up to you and say, well, I did this and this helped me. So you might get some solutions from other people, from books, from the internet, and they just kind of start appearing. As you start to love yourself, these things just start happening. So
Yes.
it's like, it just starts, it's like magic.
Yeah. 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 It's so interesting because one part of my business is DebtFreeDegree. And my parents told us from from birth, you are going to go to college and we don't go into debt for education. And I just
Mhm.
thought every family had that. And now there are, so many millions of students who are graduating with exorbitant student loan debt. So I didn't know then that it was a form of self-love to listen to my parents to figure out how to earn. So I've earned 3 degrees, including my PhD, and only took $1,000 in loans. But it
Wow,
wasn't
that's
it
amazing.
wasn't framed in a self-love
Mm-hmm.
framework. But that's ultimately what I was doing. But now I'm helping other people see this is a great way to love yourself. And so what you do, like the fact that you struggle with something and then you not only found the way to overcome it for yourself, but you said, you know what? I have brothers and sisters, I have neighbors across the world that are struggling with this same thing. And I want to be their Sherpa. I want to be their
Yeah,
shepherd, their coach.
yeah, exactly. So you help people because when like you knew intuitively, even though you didn't call it self love, but you knew intuitively because we all do. We have that intuition, and if you're really connected, you do know.
Yes.
For me, in my struggles, there are things that I knew, but because society was saying the opposite of what I knew, and I guess because I didn't have that self worth, I didn't stand my ground internally. And
Mm,
I went with what society was saying, like, go take out the debt and do this, do A, B, C, and D, because I didn't truly have that self worth.
mhm.
Um, and so, like you said, because of my lessons, and I guess there are no regrets because you have those experiences for a reason which sometimes we don't understand, especially when we're in that situation. But now I can go to women and I can say to them, if you have self-worth, you know, because your my friend calls it the unlimited mind.
Mm,
So the limited mind, which is the brain and the mind, can put things in compartments, whereas the unlimited mind is vast and it knows intuitively. And once you get connected to who you really are, you know what's right, you know what's right to do, and it's being able to listen to that voice. And so my wish and my coaching is to get people to that position so that they know for themselves. So I'm not telling them because I don't know. I haven't got a right to tell somebody this is the way you're supposed to go. I don't know where they've come from,
mhm.
i.e., where they've come from at birth or even before they were born. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue what their mission is here on earth because
Right,
we all have different missions. So
right.
in my place to tell people. So it's about getting them there so they're able to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know what is right, we all know what is wrong, we all know what we should be doing, but we're not connected, so we forget and we allow the external pressures to come on us. But when you've got that self-worth,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's clear, and
Yes.
you have the courage, you
Yes.
have the courage to do it, even though
Yes.
everybody else around you say, no, 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 no.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I think I love this aspect of what you're saying in terms of so at Love Revolution, our mission is 8 billion people loving 8 billion people one heart at a time. And I
Yeah,
think for you, it is understanding that when we are being unloving to our neighbor, whatever, whoever the other 8 billion, the one of the 8 billion people that we're being unkind to, that in
mhm.
actuality, it stems from a lack of self-love.
It does. Because, like they say, when you point one finger, there's three pointing at you. When you do something to somebody else that's unkind, you're actually doing it to yourself. And that's why you find you don't have, you might have a short term happiness when you're doing something that way, but you don't find peace because we're all one.
Right.
And so when you do, and I don't know if you follow Deepak Chopra, but this I really learned from him, and I'm so grateful. So he's got an exercise, which is kind of like a mirror exercise, but in addition to the mirror exercise, you go out and you look for somebody that you really judge and you criticize, and just be that person. So really feel in your heart that you're that person, and I tell you, that exercise brought so much love to me when I did that. I went out and it brought tears to my eyes. And I just kind of felt so much love for that person
Mm,
because we don't know why people are horrible.
that's right.
Because, you know, like if people are horrible, hurts people hurt.
That's right.
So there's something going on in their lives or within them or maybe their backgrounds that's making them hurt you. It's not personal, but maybe there's a lesson you need to learn. That's why you're having that experience. So
Yeah.
when someone's being nasty to me, I'm not saying they're right for doing that, but what is it that I need to learn? Like
Right.
I'm a survivor of domestic violence,
Mm,
right? And it took me 30, I mean, I thought I had forgiven earlier on, but I didn't truly forgive until after about 30 years.
yeah.
And I'm now able to say, thank you. I wouldn't want to have that experience again, but I can truly from my heart say, thank you. Because you know what? If I didn't meet that person in my life, apart from the children I have from that, but
Yes,
if I
exactly.
didn't meet, if I didn't meet him, I would be a completely different person.
Right.
So that experience has brought me to where I am now, which I really love. I really love
Yeah.
because when I look at my sisters, their lives are great, but that's not me. And
Yeah.
I probably would have been like my sisters
Yeah.
because of the background, but that's not me at all. So my experience has been totally different from them. So I'm
Yeah.
a completely different person, and I just love where I am. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have to give thanks. Things happen for us,
Yeah.
not to us,
There you
and
go.
sometimes they're awful. Sometimes they're awful things, but and sometimes they're difficult to get over. But with time, you can choose. Because, like I say, you get two people from the same family, both of them horrible experiences, but one comes out positive
Mhm.
attitude and the other one comes out with a negative attitude. Why is that?
Mhm.
It's the choice we make.
Mhm.
Because there are things, some things you can't change, some situations you can't change, and it happens because there are horrible people, or people, no, I won't say horrible people, people who exhibit horrible behaviors,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And
Right.
so,
Which is a
yeah, so it's not,
distinction.
yeah, there is a distinction.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I did voluntary work years ago, and this really helped me for an organization called Samaritans. And what Samaritans does is that you're on the other end of the phone, and these are suicidal people that call in
Wow.
wanting to commit suicide, and some of them do on the phone. But one of the things they require to become part of that group is that if you got, for instance, a pedophile, are you able to separate the pedophile's behavior from the person?
Mhm.
Because the individual is not a bad person,
Mhm.
but the behavior is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and the way you talk to them is different because you can see the human side
Mm-hmm.
in
Exactly.
them, even though their behavior is not
Yes.
acceptable and they
Yes.
do need punishment. So you're
Yes.
not excusing the behavior, you're not
Yes.
telling them you're excusing the behavior, but you can help them in terms of they saying they want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
You can have a conversation with them as to how they can get help for themselves. You're not going to dissuade them from committing suicide because, again, you have no right to do that. But you can, through your questioning, and they can start thinking, oh, maybe this is what I can do so
Right.
that that behavior, I'll stop doing that behavior.
Right.
Maybe I need to see a counselor. Maybe I need to not be in a position where I'm going to be with a young person. I take myself out of those positions. So they find the
Yeah.
solutions. So, yeah, exactly. So they
Beautiful.
found out those solutions because we don't understand why these things happen.
That's
There's so
right.
much we don't understand.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I mean, Sheila, I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
How can folks get in touch with you?
Okay, so I will send you that information. So I've got a website that I'm working on. I got a book that's just released. I am on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn.
Excellent.
So I'll send. I don't know if I've sent that to you. I'll send you that information so you can put it on the comments. So
Excellent.
yes,
Excellent.
so yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Uh,
You are truly love personified. And we are just so, so grateful that you had this time with us and that you're just so amazing. And thank you for being so loving. We appreciate
Thank
you. We
you.
love you. All right. Love
Thank you.
Revolution, beloveds. Y'all, was that not a powerful, powerful conversation? So until next time, this is our Love Revolution series, and I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all. Bye bye.